So, if we look at our recipes first, and the ingredients that go into our recipes, it's easier to say what makes it impure. If it's genetically modified, and if it's treated with any chemicals and fertilizers or pesticides. It kind of sounds like organic. And I think that we choose organic ingredients because we believe them to probably be pure. Do you believe organic ingredients to be pure? I'm not sure I do. Well, we could get into the whole process of leaving something organic and all of that messed up stuff. We won't go there. That's not what we're going. But for me, I think pure ingredients are things that come out of my garden. It's the only thing I have control over. So I know that I haven't used any pesticides with chemicals. I know that I haven't fertilized with chemicals. So for me, that's as pure as I know I can get. The only thing that it makes me question it is because I don't know what that little seed was that I planted. I had no control over that. And so many of our foods are modified now, just to make them grow faster, to make them be more colorful, to whatever, just to make different breeds, varieties. I don't know why that's so important. I am not the world's greatest cook. I'll give you that now. Ask Karen. I feed her. So I make no promises beyond that. So I wanted to look at the organic real fast because it's like on the surface you would think that organic ingredients are pure. And why do we want to use pure ingredients? They make things taste better. Is that, I mean, Connie, you're a baker and whatever. You do everything. You just make stuff in the kitchen. Do you try and use the purest ingredients you can?
All the time.
Okay. And that's because?
It does taste better.
Thank you. I rest my case. So, and the things that come in the store are nice and shiny done for me. They're nice and shiny done. I don't need nice and shiny done. I don't need that on me that's nice and shiny done. But so I went searching for a recipe on the internet, and I saw this recipe for homemade barbecue sauce. And the little line underneath it, I guess whoever posted it or whatever, was, it said, "Thank your body." And, okay, so that intrigued me, so I pulled it up, okay? Here was the ingredients. 2 organic onions, 6 organic cloves, of garlic, 1 tablespoon organic coconut oil, 2 cans of organic tomato sauce, 1.5 cups organic apple cider vinegar, 1/2 cup honey, 1/2 cup organic evaporated cane juice, 3 tablespoons organic chili powder, 1 tablespoon organic smoked paprika, 4 teaspoons crushed red pepper, 2 teaspoons sea salt. Now, I guess on the outside, reading all of those things, we might think, oh, that, this is healthy. This is healthy for me. And some of those ingredients, I mean, they are healthy, probably. But we don't know for sure. So, I guess at that point, what that started to make me think of, and this is a line from a movie that some of you may recognize, in terms of all of those ingredients, the secret's in the sauce. But there is one ingredient that's not a secret, and it's in everything that's created, and that includes in the kitchen and out of the kitchen. It's widely and always 24/7 available to us, and we can't buy it. So what is it? I'll give you guesses, and it's not secret in the sauce. Love. But not just love. Pure love. Pure love. Now, I understand pure love to be energy, and I understand it to be God, Yahweh, Allah, source, divine, higher power, whatever you call that energy, is what I understand pure love to be. So it's not anything that's genetically modified, it's not altered, it's not mixed with anything, and it stands alone as one energy. And that energy is present in everything. It is the basic ingredient in everything. And I understand that, and you cooks can tell me, there is a basic ingredient in every recipe that makes that recipe what it's supposed to be. And so I understand pure love to be that basic ingredient, no matter what it is we're creating. And that energy, that ingredient, is the best part of me. It's the best part of you. It gets down to my core. And it gets down to your core. It is the core of who we are, who we were made to be. Who we were made to be. We were made to be pure love. We were made to give that energy out. But I might be the only one, but I'm serious, I really doubt it. I might be the only one that doesn't always act out of my best part. You don't have to raise your hands, that's okay. But anyway, so now I'm gonna sort of fill you in on the burnt toast, because there's a story that circulates on the internet, and as far as I know, I couldn't find an author, so it was an unknown author. It's the story about the burnt toast, and it goes like this. When I was about 8 or 9, my mom burned some toast. One night that stood out in my mind is when she had made dinner for us after a very long and rough day at work. She placed a plate of jam and extremely burnt toast in front of my dad. Not slightly burnt, but completely blackened toast. I was just waiting to see if anyone noticed the burnt toast and would say anything. But Dad just ate his toast and asked me if I did my homework and how my day was. I don't remember what I told him that night, but I do remember hearing my mom apologizing to Dad for burning the toast. And I'll never forget what he said. Sweetie, I love burnt toast. Later that night, I went to tell my dad goodnight and asked him if he really liked his toast burned. He put his arm on my shoulder and said, "Your mama put in a very long day at work today. And she was very tired. And besides, a burnt toast never hurts anyone. But you know what does? Harsh words. I think that this husband, this father, exemplified pure love in that moment. When God created us, we were created in pure love, by pure love. So God gave that pure love. And we received that pure love because we were too little, itty bitty, to be stupid enough to reject it. And what he did was he modeled, number one, that behavior for his son. And, you know, I just imagine the impact that that made on him. But he realized that his wife made that meal for them out of love, out of it after a very hard, long day. And he accepted it with love. No complaints, no harsh words. And I wondered if I would do the same. Although I'm one who usually burns the toast, so ask Karen that question. Can you imagine a world where love permeates everything that we say and do? I think that sounds like heaven on earth, which is honestly what we're supposed to be creating here. But sometimes it's hard for me to imagine it because we see so little of it. The thing about pure love is that it doesn't just transform our creations. It transforms us. It is the purest ingredient of all. And when we start to experience it, I think you'll know when you start to experience it. Because when you experience true love, everything tastes better, the sun shines brighter, the grass is greener, there's no conflict, there's just love. There isn't an us versus them. There isn't judgments, criticism. And it's really, really awesome to experience it. I can tell you these things out of my own personal experience. And it's nothing that lasted for a long period of time, obviously. It was brief, but it was enough for me to know that I wanted more of it. And I wanted to be more of it than I am. So let me just briefly explain to you how it is it happened for me. Typically in my mornings, when I go to meditation, I usually go giving God permission to work in my life that day. That may sound funny, but that's a whole different story. And so on this one particular day, that's what I did. And I closed my eyes. And my thoughts began to focus on our connections, the oneness that we are connected to everything, every person, animal, nature, the universe, the cosmos, God, I mean, all of it, our connection, that we're all one. And in reality, we all have that pure love that is creation, and it is the creator. And in my mind, I was picturing people, gangs of people, but people from all over the world. I was picturing animals. I was picturing trees and flowers and oceans and turtles, because why not? Turtles, yes. And then I had this, with my eyes closed, the brightest light came into my inner field of vision. And I could literally feel my heart just like opening and swelling. It made me think about the Grinch. Well, you know, you've all seen it. You all saw his little itty bitty heart that just like grew bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's what it felt like in my chest. There wasn't a judgmental, critical, non-loving thought in my head. I just sat there and enjoyed it. And the peace is something that I had never experienced before until that point. All I can tell you is that pure love is the purest of all ingredients. And it's honestly, I was thinking about Donna talking about this series at the beginning and how it doesn't just change us, it transforms us. These single ingredients being mixed with all these other ingredients to transform those ingredients into something new. So what I'm going to suggest to you today is that pure love is the single ingredient that you need, that we need to transform ourselves and the world. But it's a single ingredient that needs nothing else. For me, I just need to try and get the rest of me out of the way because. So that one ingredient is our recipe. Pure love is our recipe for transforming ourselves and transforming our world basically into heaven on earth. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the benediction. May we never twist
These holy words into weapons.
Never turn the sacred text
into ammunition.
Instead, may we use this blessed message to wrap each other in perfect love.
It's big enough to cover us all.
We gather at the table as one loving community. Sharing one loaf, tasting from one cup,